Hey guys, girls, Fox Green back here again today, and today I'm going to be looking at something that has been revisited in the airsoft world, and that is carbine kits with the brand new introduction of TRIDOS NANO Carbine Kit. Now, as you can see here, this is just one of the many setups you can make, but you can make full-on DMR setups, CQB setups, and much more. I have a lot of things I want to say about this. First of all, I want to break down a lot about the kit. I'll then talk about the price, and then I'll show you how I built the kit and put it together. I'm also going to show you different ways you can configure this kit as well, so you'll get the best taste of what this kit delivers. The first thing I'd like to say is this kit, the Nano Carbine Kit, is predominantly targeted at people that have the SSX23 out there by Novritsch. However, you will note here that I'm running it on my TM platform. So TRIDOS is developing the same platform that's compatible with the TM also, so that's good to know. He's also testing this on the ASG version of the carbine kit. But at the current moment in time, I've got it on my TM, and it's mainly targeted at the SSX23. So that means what I have here with me today is a prototype, and let me tell you, for a prototype, this is a solid piece of kit and something I'm really impressed with. So now, let's just get into the details about this kit before we look at it further. So when I look at this kit, this to me is a gun tech's dream. And plus, anyone who likes to be hands-on with the guns and change things about and not afraid to get the tools out. With that said though, it's not complicated to install this kit. I want to definitely highlight that. But what I basically mean is, this kit for me, with the components I have on here at the moment, is basically it's like a Lego set. So what I've got on here is a few different features. I got the long extended rail, but you can have a short extended rail. I've got it with the stock, but of course you can remove the stock, and he also does a cover that will cover up the noise that the hammer makes. I've also got an extended mag grip up here, which doubles as a second mag holder. But TRIDOS also does a lower rail, which looks really cool on this. So there's lots of different components and features. The thing I like about this kit is it's aimed at someone who basically has the MK23 already, doesn't want to quite go out there and buy something like the Novritsch SSX23, and they want to be able to adapt it or change it up, use it as a pistol, use it as kind of a CQB gun. Now if I took this off and put the raised red dot mount on our sight on it and a red dot on it like this configuration, it'd be like a CQB. There's also an extended handguard which you can get for this, which can turn the whole platform into DMR, and my buddy aka Staten has that handguard, and if you go over to his channel you'll be able to see what it looks like when it's fully kitted out in the DMR type scenario. So basically, all in all, this is the Lego of airsoft. You can adapt it and change it up as much as you want, which is really cool. And for me, it keeps the aesthetics of the original gun and builds on top of that without completely covering up the gun by putting it into a full-on carbine kit. So it cuts down on materials and builds off the minimalistic look of the handgun and makes it into something a bit more substantial. So as it stands right now, this kit works really good on an SSX23 gun, and on the TM it's a little bit tight, but that's because this is a prototype, but that is all going to be completely sorted out. And as you can see, it's on my TM here and it works really well, but TRIDOS Design still wants to get the version for the TM a bit better with tolerances, etc., just to make the installation even easier. There are, however, some parts which are in development, and those bits that are in development include a buffer tube for an M4 style stock, a handguard to extend it to get it into that DMR type look, an outer barrel for an extended inner barrel that will go under that handguard, which will have M-LOK rails on it, and also rails for these side stabilizers here so you can mount things on the side of the gun also. So important thing to note is not all the parts here are 3D printed. Some are actually metal parts, but the bits that are 3D printed are done with a thing called MJF, which is multi-jet fusion, and that 3D printing is the highest quality you can get and is actually the equivalent to injection molding. So this isn't like your standard 3D printing. This is really high grade stuff, and the tolerances are down to 0.3 of a millimeter. So this kit, when you get it, will fit your gun precisely, really precisely. So that's good to note. The bits that are metal, just so you know, are obviously all the screws and fittings are metal, but the extended rail or the short rail, side stabilizers, that kind of stuff is metal. And obviously there's an adapter rail that goes on top here, that's metal. The TDC that you use is metal also. So not everything is 3D printed. So when the whole kit is together, it's really strong, really robust. There's no wobble in this. Like, this thing is really built strong. And good thing to note is your DTD holster will actually work in this. So you can side mount it on your hip like so, and you can still run it with your DTD holster. So I'm really impressed with the build quality. Despite the build quality being really good, this is still cheaper than most other 3D printed kits that you put your gun completely into. And obviously, because you can modify it any which way you want, there's much more options, and because you don't have to buy it all at once, it's much cheaper depending on what you want to do with it. So this really gives you all options out there, and it can turn your handgun into whatever you want. CQB gun, DMR, you name it. Literally your imagination is the only thing holding you back from whatever you want with this, which I really think is cool. What is really important to note is because this comes in so many little parts, it means you don't have to buy the whole kit. You can buy little pieces bit by bit and build on your kit, and over time turn into something as big as a DMR loadout. But if you want, you can just go with a stock for now or an angle grip, so you can completely choose what you want to pay up front. And I'll be giving you prices of this setup and other setups, just so you have an idea of what the whole thing comes in at. So all in all, this is more affordable than other 3D printed carbine kits that you can get out there. So now I'm going to take you through the full parts list, including some of the bits that I don't have on this gun right now, and tell you what they're made of and what cost they are. So the first thing I'd like to point out is the folding stock adapter, right? So that folding stock adapter is basically this piece here, and that's made out of MJF, so really high grade 3D print with metal screws, and that's coming in at €25. So that bit to connect the stock. The next bit then I'd like to point out is the airy stock. This is coming in at €24, and this is a really high grade plastic, and it's really solid. The next thing I want to point out is a long metal Picatinny rail here. So as I said, it's metal, and that's coming in at €32. Now to mount the rail, you need a piece that goes on under here. It's an adapter piece. That adapter piece is also metal along with all the screws. And if you don't like the long Picatinny rail, there's also a short Picatinny rail version which goes on back here, which you can buy. That short Picatinny rail being metal comes in at €16, so that's pretty good also. The next bit I want to point out is the angled grip, which also holds a mag. This is actually MJF 3D printing as well, really high grade, and it comes in at €55. If you don't want the angled grip, you have the option of going with this nice little frame rail, which is a really nice design when it's slid on here, and it gives you the option to add, you know, basically any torches or lamb units you want underneath. This is also MJF printed, and this would come in at €22. And as you can see, it can screw into position right here in front of the trigger, so I really like that. So if you want, there's also the option to put on these side stabilizers. These are made of metal as well, and they come in at €16, and they attach from your angled grip or your smaller undermount rail to your top rail and secure the whole thing together. In the future, you'll be able to get small rails which will go on the side of this, so you can mount things on the side of this small nice unit as well, which I really like. If you don't want to go with a scope on top and you want to run this more as a CQB option, let me just quickly show you here. You can take off your scope, and he's doing a raised rail which you can put a red dot on, and you can turn this into a nice CQB option very quick. This Picatinny riser comes in at €10 and again is metal, so that's a really nice little piece to add to the kit. And if you did want to make it kind of more CQB like, you could get rid of the long rail and use a short rail with this Picatinny riser, and that would work really good with a red dot on there in this kind of configuration. There's also a hole through here to adjust your TDC if you have a hadron in there, or if you're running the standard Novritsch one. But if not, and you want to go with TRIDOS' well-known screw-in TDCs, you can also mount that in here and adjust it either side of this rail, which is nice and good to know. That thumb screw TDC comes in at €6 and again is made of metal and is a really nice upgrade to your gun to allow you to adjust it without taking optics off if you want so. Now, as I said, the parts that are in development, so one of these is, if you're not running with a stock, is a cover that covers up the hammer and reduces the noise if you want to be more stealthy. Also, as I said, there's going to be a handguard which is in development, but if you want to run a long inner barrel in there under the handguard, there's this barrel extension which is also in development. And again, as I said earlier, the rails for these side stabilizers are also in development, and they'll all be items that will come quite soon. So guys and girls, that concludes this review video for today. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit that notifications button, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm Fox Green, thank you for watching.